Hey everyone, it's Tim again. Today I'm going to talk to you about some things in the Model 3 user interface that need improvement. These are things I don't like and I have a better way to do it. Now, all the things in the user interface are fine, but it's mainly an issue of setting defaults and setting preferences, and those are the things I have a real problem with. So here's the first one right here. When I get in the car and I look at the screen, it comes up with the map as default. Well, maybe I don't want the map as default. Maybe I want the battery screen as my default. I should be able to set that. It shows charging right now because as a continuance to the previous parking garage video, I'm sitting at a local Ford dealer right now on their J1772 charger, picking up a little extra power. Battery's already full. I don't really need it, but hey, why not? It's Sunday afternoon, no one's here. Charge up. Anyhow, I want this battery screen to be my default screen on the car. And another problem is in the quick controls here. It puts the headlights on automatic by default. I don't like that because I've looked and there are a lot of times the headlights are on in broad daylight when they don't need to be on, and I don't want them on. This is a personal quirk of mine that goes way back to the 1990s when GM was putting daytime running lights on all their cars, and I thought that was the dumbest thing in the world. If you're driving around in the middle of the day and you need to see someone else's headlights on so you can see there's a big car coming at you, then you don't need to be on the road. So, every time I get in a car and I want to drive somewhere, I always bring up this screen and I turn the headlights off if it's daytime. And that's extra button pushes and time out of my busy schedule that I don't need to be wasting on this. This should be a preference setting. I should be able to have the headlights off, by default. And if it's nighttime, if I want the headlights on, hey, I'm a big boy. I can come in here. I can put the lights on or on automatic if I want to, but I shouldn't have to come in here and turn them off every single time I get in the car. Now, sometimes when I go to press the battery icon up here, it doesn't bring up the battery screen. I have to go down here and slide this over and hit the lightning bolt screen in the middle to get it to come up. They need to fix that. Why does that not work all the time? And down here, whenever you get in the car, it comes up with the screen as the first screen. You have the since time, and then you have since last charge, and then you have your trip A, and then you have your trip B. Well, what if I want to have it on trip A? I mean, it's every single time I get in the car and start it, I have to come in here, swipe this thing to the side, and put it down to trip B. Hey, this is the 21st century. That's just too much effort. I should be able to set that by default. I should be able to go into these little dots over here, and here have something like, set this to come up by default. Some kind of thing like that. That's what we need in here. Another thing that kind of bothers me is when I'm here at a local J1772 charger, it shows the amps and volts, and that's all fine. That's good. But when I go to a supercharger, it just shows the kilowatts. Well, hey, I'm a technical, knowledgeable kind of person. I want to know the volts and amps at the supercharger as well. If they want to include kilowatts, fine. If not, I'm not so concerned. But they could include it in there very easily. Why don't they? I believe the older Tesla Model S's had a display like that when you were at a supercharger. Here's another problem I have with the current user interface. The web browser, or I should say the excuse for a web browser. I looked it up on Google, the What's My Browser thing. It's Chromium 73. Chromium is the base for Google Chrome, so it has the potential to be a very capable web browser. But Tesla has this thing so locked down, it's useless. Look, I'm in the car is in park, I'm at a charging station, I'm not driving anywhere. I can understand if Tesla doesn't want you watching YouTube videos while you're going 80 miles an hour down the highway, fine. but the car's in park, it's charging, it's not moving. Why can't I watch a video right now and it says, your web browser does not, recognize what is this? This is Chrome, this is Chromium. Why can't it play it? Why don't we have what we need in here for software to do this? That's a waste of time. It's almost useless for a web browser. I go on plugshare.com once in a while, and that's about all you can really do. Maybe a Google search, because anything else just takes too long and it ain't worth the hassle. Allow me to demonstrate for you what a huge problem it is when you cannot set your own defaults and preferences on the screen. This is what I have to do every single time I get in the car so I can drive down the road without my OCD kicking in. As soon as it comes up, okay, well, here, you can't see my pin to drive. You don't need to know that. And now, oh look, the light things are on, so I have to go in here, I have to turn off the lights. And now, yeah, put a seatbelt on, and I have to move this over to see whichever one I happen to want to see at the time. And now I can put it in drive and go. You see, that's just too much trouble for me here. We don't need to have all these extra steps in here. We could save at least 2 steps out of there every time I get in and out of the car. Oh, in the car. So those are a few of my complaints and grievances about the current Tesla user interface. And it's not so much the user interface itself, that part's okay, but it's what they chose to have as their default settings, and I can't change them, I want them to put in a few menus so that I can make my own choices. If I want this screen up all the time when I get in the car and turn the car on, that's what I want. Down here, with the charging and the trip A and the trip B and so forth. If I want one of these to come up by default all the time, that's what it should do. It's not hard to do. It's just a little bit of computer programming. They can handle it. But no, they think their way is the best way. Apparently it's not the best way because I don't think it's the best way. I want it some other way. So come on, Tesla, give us the ability to make a few little changes here, and then we can be happier and have it a better way.